Be brave, be bold, be you. That is the name of the live. And I'm inspired by this 80s look. And that's because I'm brave enough to be myself. And that's great. So I enjoyed the weekend. I'm hoping that everyone enjoyed their weekend. And we are back on this Monday to gather around and uplift and rejoice in this new day. And I see as people are just coming into the live that it is a really great day. And it is a great day because I had some Rice Krispie treats. And not just any Rice Krispie treats. I had browned butter Rice Krispie treats. They are delicious. And I'm grateful for that because it's nice when someone makes a sweet treat and they think about you and you get to eat that sweet treat. So let's get on with it as everyone is coming into the live. I am Hope. I am a motivational speaker. I am a storyteller. And this is what we do here. This is a space of empowerment and uplifting and laughter and knowing that you are the change that you seek. You can do it. You are it. And there's no one like you. So continue to be you because you are fabulous. And speaking of being fabulous, I attended a gala this weekend. And there were so many lessons in this gala, in this space. Because number one, these events can be somewhat boring because you have people, the MC, unless the MC is me, then it's fantastic. But that's where I start with speaking. Because if you cannot captivate the crowd, get off the stage. Number one. Secondly, the food there is sometimes subpar. And in this case, the rice pilaf was burnt rice pilaf, but that's okay because the company made up for it. And I share that because I was invited just to assist at this event. And in that assisting, I found all of these beautiful lessons. And I saw people that remembered me from ages ago. They hadn't seen me in like 20 years. And they would say, I had someone say, Hope, oh my gosh, it's you. I remember you dancing and doing the moonwalk. And I said, oh, did I do that? Of course I would do that. Of course I would do that. Yeah, that sounds like something I would do. And I remember that, and this goes along with the title of this live, to be bold, to be you, to be brave, because that element of braveness and that courage to dance when everyone else is looking and they don't want to dance. Inside they do, but they have the feeling of, I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to be the first to be on the dance floor. I don't feel ready. I'm not cool enough. People may talk about me. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to dance. I'm going to get out there on the dance floor. And that is that lesson of go and be yourself in spite of that little voice in your head that says, this is dumb. You're going to embarrass yourself. This isn't good enough. Don't do it. And then there we go. I'll put on the song, Don't Do It. So, this was a fundraiser, and at the fundraiser, I was tasked just to help out. And a lot of that was helping seat people at their tables. There was specific businesses, some people who are high-level city council members or members of Congress, and I love to talk. So I'm always great at this. Like, okay, so what table are you at? Are you enjoying the night? And as I began to do this, I was working with a group of beautiful young ladies. And these young ladies are debutantes. So if you're unfamiliar with what debutantes are, they're just teenagers that it's kind of like a socioeconomic thing. But either way, they got to work beside me. And I was sharing with the young ladies, all you have to do is just schmooze the people as they walk to their table. And it reminded me of my teenage years. And sometimes that discomfort that you have, that I don't think I've ever had, I don't think I have that embarrassment gene. In fact, I know I don't. Because embarrassment is only the projection of what you think others are thinking of you. And I'm not really thinking of what others are thinking of me because I'm too busy doing. So there's the pillar of wisdom there. So as we are seating people, some of the young ladies felt more uncomfortable than others. And so I would pull them aside and just see where they are in life. And I forget that I am like auntie now. I still feel like I am that teenager, but I feel like I forgot that I'm auntie now. I am definitely 2 to maybe 3 times older than these young ladies. And I remember I had ran to the ladies' restroom and some of the girls were in the ladies' room and they were making a TikTok, of course. And so I pulled out my light because I bought the really great light from TikTok that changes colors and I take it everywhere. So anytime I want to film content, I have my light with me. And I said, "Oh, I have a light." And I turned on the light. They were like, "The light is so good. What's up, handsome? Hi. Hey, handsome. Thank you for liking the live, handsome." I can't believe no one liked the live. So they said, "Wow, this is a great light." I said, "Yeah, I'm on TikTok all the time." "What's up?" "A great life is up." "That's what's up, handsome. Come on." "What's up, T?" There's some of my folks. I see T, I see handsome. Um, and I was sharing with them, yes, of course. "What's up, Lady T?" You see I was inspired to do like this. I was kind of inspired by my mom from like the 80s, 90s. So I did this little updo purposely. Thank you. I wanted to try something else out. And we love to play with the looks. So that's exactly what's going on here. And thank you, handsome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I was talking to the young ladies and they were like, "You're on TikTok?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm on TikTok." So they added me and they said, "Oh, you're really on TikTok?" I said, "Yes." "Oh, it's a blouse." Let me correct you. It does look like a dress, but it's a blouse. It's a vintage silk blouse, but I love, thank you, handsome. I love the decal and the details, and it is my mother's blouse with shoulder pads. T would know because we are into style and fashion and all of that. So there was a specific look I was going for. Exactly. Exactly. And I think I accomplished it. Thank you, Robert. So as I was speaking to the young ladies, they're like, "Oh, okay, so you're a speaker. What's up? Thank you, Kia or Kaya. Edit blouse." "Yeah, that's right. Thank you, handsome." And I was speaking to them and I said, and this is for everyone in the chat currently. At times, I only think, yes, 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 yes. Zahara, wait a minute. I'm trying to see. It is very retro glam. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. That was me and my sister. What? That I was talking to you in the bathroom? Yay! Because I was about to say, wait a minute, did we meet at that workout class? Because I talk um, in the pink suit. I thought, wait a minute, the pink suit? I remember a blue suit. Was that Saturday? Was it Saturday? Let me just double check because I have an exceptional memory, but I remember a blue suit. I don't remember a pink suit. And I remember the green dress. And oh, you were, yes, because we were in the bathroom and you were standing next to the girl in the green dress. Okay, so I'm talking about you, and this is what I do. So, yes, she's actually in the chat. And as we were standing there talking, I often think, unless I'm in front of a large crowd, and this is for everyone in the chat, the belief is unless I'm affecting many, my effect isn't felt. But your knowledge, your gift, your skill may just be for that colleague. It may just be for your sister or your brother. It may just be for that one person. And I was reminded of this lesson in that moment. And I share about all of the little doubts that I may have. But the doubt for me was unless I'm on a large stage, I'm not accomplishing my goal. And it was in that moment that I understood that the goal is accomplished, number one, because I chose to pursue. Once you say yes, let me tell you, you can't turn around and go back. Once you say yes and start towards that goal, whether it's the goal of working out, whether it's the goal of content creation, whether it's the goal of completing your degree, whether it's a goal of a relationship you can go back. So let me edit that out. But for anything that has been placed on your heart, you just keep going. And speaking to these beautiful ladies that are a reflection of me. And I was telling them, you just got to trust the journey. And I remember you saying, so how is that? Your journey? And I had to pause, like, the journey is the journey. And I'm learning in the journey. And in that moment, even speaking to these young ladies in the ladies' bathroom, that's where I saw my impact was being felt in that moment. In that moment. So it doesn't have to just be here on TikTok or speaking at a school or the TED stage. The fact is, number one, I set off on that goal, that journey. Secondly, whatever you do, it's always going to affect those around you. And you never know how it will. Maybe that inspiring word, maybe the fact that someone sees you in a space that they've never seen a person that looks like them occupying, maybe just your courage and how powerful that is. And how powerful that is for you to reflect on. So, the lesson in this is again, your power is in you. It's not necessarily in the amount of people that you will affect, because the point is to affect. You affect it one, you've already done it. Secondly, you can't turn around. In a relationship, you can. But on something that has been put on your heart, there is no turning around. There's only forward. There's only completion. There's only growth. There's only continued success and confidence in what you're doing. And finally, your ability to affect change is the power. Your ability to share your life story or your gift. How T is in the chat and she's constantly posting content about stylists or creating digital products or becoming an entrepreneur or spreading your wealth of expertise to others. That is the seed. You never know how that's going to grow, but the point is to continuously plant those seeds and look good doing it. There's that part. Look good doing it. And it was helpful because I even forget. I even forget that the point of me becoming a professional speaker, of leaving my occupation as a flight attendant and saying I'm closing that door to start another one, is to affect change, to keep going, and to grow. That's it. Not to say, did I make the right choice? Is this going to work? Is it? Are the seeds growing? Of course they are. But I share that because also often, especially on anything that you feel that's been put on your heart, the ability to look back or say, am I doing it right? You're doing it right because it was given to you. You're creating the blueprint. There is no right way to do it. The point that you're doing it is the right way. The point that you continue is the gift. The point that you say, of course I can, is enough. And as I continued to be at this event, I had someone else say, oh my gosh, is that Hope? Because most of these people I hadn't seen in, she's like 20 years. And it was the parents, and I had spoken about this, it was the parents of a past boyfriend from like college years who had passed away from substances. Um, with pleasure, Mama Peg. What was I saying when you asked your guides? Listen, I'm placed into people's lives like that. So this is great. Um, and a part of this journey goes back to this person, because this person who I'm speaking about, who had, yeah, thank you. Your moment, the moment you continue, that is the gift. It is. It is. And let me go back on that. As I said, I will make difficult decisions. And I share that because that's where people stop. They will think, oh, I want to do this, but they won't make the decision to do it. It will just reside in their head. It will reside in their dream. It will reside somewhere that's not tangible. There's a point where you make the decision, and not making a decision is a decision. So the moment I chose to say, I'm going in this direction, you have rerouted your life and it's done. You don't have to doubt, you just keep showing up. You keep showing up. And my father would say, with competency, with continuing to show up with consistency, that builds confidence. So this could be on your job now. The more that the first day of your job, you may not have the confidence in what you do compared to your 10th year. T could probably tell you. The first time she did someone's hair is a lot different from 20 years later. The techniques you've learned, the skills you've learned, your ability to diagnose situations or when to ask for help, that's because you have done it repetitively. So the point isn't, am I doing it right? The more that you show up, that breeds consistency, and consistency breeds competency, and competency builds confidence. And I'm even sharing that with myself. You just keep showing up. And as I was speaking to this person who said, "Is that Hope?" It was the mother and the father of a dear friend of mine who was a boyfriend, and then years later, as I said, passed away from substances. And it actually shifted my path because it was the first time that someone I had lost who was like my peer and who went down a road with substances that overtook their life. And it taught me so much about this time because that's what we have. We have this current time. I I can't go back. I can't go forward. I only have this current time with this person or with this thing that I'm aspiring to build. And that loss taught me that. And it also taught me about loss, how to feel that, how to feel that discomfort, how to feel the emotions you feel with the loss of a loved one. Not to run, to sit in it, to cry, to journal, to have therapy, to know that eventually it does get lighter, but actually you don't know that. That just comes within time. And I had spoken to them because I hadn't seen them since the ceremony, since his uh, service. And I had this resistance in me to ask, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And I share that because there was a real resistance against asking. And I feel that it was a part of me and it was part of the other part of the parents. I'm sure they may inquire, have that question asked often. Either way, I shared that because in every situation, whether it's uncomfortable, whether it's pleasurable, there's a lesson in it. There's a lesson. And that's it. It's not that was so horrible. Yeah, possibly that's the label we put on it, but the lesson was learned. Thank you, Mama Peg, for sharing the live. Once you learn the lesson, you've leveled up. And really, life is all about these lessons. That's all we encounter in life are constant lessons, constant decisions, constant changes, constant gains, constant losses that we are experiencing in real time. Now, we can choose to label them however we choose. We can label them bad or I don't need a month. I make Black history every day. And thank you. Um, but continue to learn the lesson. And even in that, let me share with you with that. Um, we are always stronger as humans. Thank you. I've learned a lot from you. This is the Paper Chaser. What's up? What's up? Let people think what they want to think about me. I hold my peace. Here's the thing. They're going to think it anyway. So even the thought of, well, let people think, they already are, they have, and they will continue to think whatever they want to think. So it's not even my space of guessing or assuming. I assume everyone loves me. I I've shared this. I assume what's not to love. I'm beautiful. I'm wise. I am captivating. I am stylish. I am well traveled. What's not to love? So, in that regard, let people think what they want to think. They're going to think that they love me. I'm not going to think anything outside of that because what's not to love? And even going into that space within yourself, instead of, thank you, Micah, um, everyone doesn't like me. Why? Now, if you're going around punching people in the head, that may not. You may want to change that. That may not work in your favor, but maybe that's the lesson for you to learn. And Thank you, Paper Chaser, and thank you, Micah, for both of your kind comments. And as humans, we are always more powerful when we are together. And I've spoken about this because any barrier, and this is specifically within this country, any barrier that makes me different from you or on a higher level than you or lower than you takes away our power as humans. Because as a human, we have power. There is if you want change, you can create that change. And just one moment, because I'm trying to keep. I don't really have music, but I have had it. Uh, let's see. So, knowing that the power that you have is always a collective power, meaning collectively create your change. Create your change. But in reality, yes, you create the change you want to see. And as a people, we are the power. If you want to change this whole thing, if we all band it together on one accord, we could create that change. But that means you have to see yourself in the person you're sitting next to or standing next to. Not that they're lesser or better or no more. We are human beings. Until we're all free, no one's free. And that's a whole nother conversation. But we are the change we want to see. And I felt that in that moment speaking to the ladies in the ladies' room. These are two young girls that were like, oh my gosh, you are so cool. And I was seeing myself in them. With pleasure. Thank you, Mama Peg. And yeah, because my name is Hope. So to be the voice of hope is my intention, a realistic outlook. That I'm not realistic at all because my reality is what I create in my mind. So for me to say, well, that's not realistic, I don't know what someone is gauging realistic as. Because if I just believed 5 years ago that I would be a professional speaker, someone may think that's impossible. I think all things are possible. That's what I was taught. That's what I believe. We're human beings, we're creators. Um, Especially as women, we birth life, we birth. And with pleasure, I will continue to shine my light with different looks. Because this is like I was thinking of Peggy from what is that show? Al Bundy. Yes, I understand. I understand. Create the change and needed the reminder with pleasure. What's up, Billie Jean ASMR Queen? Um, Married with children. Yes, yes, yes. I love, and I keep bringing T into this because she is essentially, if you are a stylist, you're in fashion because you've been pulled into photo shoots and fashion shows, and inspiration comes from anything. So I will see something. Etta James, sure, I'll take that. But Etta James had white blonde hair, Sean Hampton. So maybe you actually don't. Didn't she? Maybe you don't actually know what editing. Whatever, I'll take that. Um, I will take all of that. Yes, Peggy Bundy. I will take that. I love that. I love to create that look where someone says, "Oh, that reminds me of something," and I love really big hair, and so there's that. And that's that part of creation. It's not just what I choose to do with my life, it's how I choose to see myself. It's how I choose to show up for myself. It's thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's all bouncy and light. I love it. It's that courage to try. Because you may want to try a new look and then think, I don't want people to tease me. I don't want people to, I don't, I, my thought is never what others will think about what I am doing or what I'm going to do, because that takes away from your power. Your power is your ability to create whatever you want in life, and take away that thought of it's difficult and it's hard. Well, that's there to keep you going. What you want is not on the other side of easy. Because if you knew what it took, you probably wouldn't sign up for it. So even that thought of is it easy or is it hard? I don't care. I will accomplish every day. Every day. It's the same as when I speak about physically moving your body. I do not get up and say it's cold outside, it's raining, it's foggy. No, for me to continuously have a healthy, high functioning body means I must do that workout daily, whether it's a run, it's a walk, it's a rollerblade. I'm going to move my body daily, daily, without fail. That is what I'm going to do. If I'm choosing to speak, I will speak daily. And I shared about there's a publication that will come out on Valentine's Day, and I'll do more content about that. But that's simply because I chose to show up. Whatever you want is on the other side of showing up. Exactly. But why would you ever need to prove yourself? Listen, I saw the piece of content that said there's no competition where there's no, what was it? T, did you see this? Um, I'm never competing against anyone except me. Good evening, Fletcher. I am my biggest competition because I'm always bettering my best from everything that I've done in my life, because I get to see everything that I do in my life. Other people, your friends, your family will see, okay, it's like there is no competition when there's no, it'll come up. My Minowa hope in you, dear hope, something. Okay, I'll take that. I'm thinking it's a compliment. Um, you get to see everything you do. Others will see points in your life. They may see points where you show up, or points where you succeeded, or elements of your life that are big, but you get to see every day, every moment. And when I say show up, that consistency builds that competency within yourself, because you see yourself doing that workout every day. You see yourself drinking water or changing your eating habits every day, not just when people are around, not just when you feel like it. No, thank you, T. That is every day. And feel free to block too. So when I'm speaking of showing up, it's truly because you get to see everything you do. Everything. The times when you don't work out or move your body. I don't call it a workout. I call it movement. The times where you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it. The times where you don't keep your word. And guess what? Here's the thing. When you don't keep your word, how do you feel when others don't keep their word to you? You start to not to trust them. You may look at them in a certain way and say, this person's not dependable. But if that person is the body you're living in, which is you will get to a point where you don't even trust yourself, because you know you can't hold yourself accountable. You won't do what you say, and that doesn't feel good. You will start to dislike yourself. And that's a part of it. That dislike is to say, hey, the opposite of that is me showing up for myself. So once I show up for myself, I start to see I can do it, and I can hold myself accountable, and I can be more, and I can accomplish. And this is why these small daily promises. I don't call them goals. I call them small daily promises to yourself are so important because that one daily promise to go walk 10 minutes and you do it. And you do it 3 times a week instead of what you've been doing, which is not doing it. When you do it, you start saying, wow, I did it. And then you go another week and you do it again. And you go another week and you do it again. And you go another week and then you look back and say, I've walked 3 times a week for this entire month. I'm going to keep it up. And that pride in yourself of being able to hold yourself accountable and show up for yourself allows you to say, I did this. What else can I do? What else can I direct myself to? Whether it's that energy to start something, whether that's energy to increase my workout, whether it's that energy to change my eating habits, whether it's that energy to walk away from people, places, and things that don't serve me, whether it's that energy of, I got through some really hard things. Because that really shows that pride in yourself when you've actually been able to say, wow, I got through that. And I know that. Going through hard things, healing through hard things, whether that's walking away from a relationship, whether that's healing some wound within yourself, whether that's forgiving yourself or someone else. I had to do that. And I said, Hope, I forgive you. I forgive you when you showed up in a space where you only were doing the best that you could in that moment. But to hold yourself up to this unreasonable example and tear yourself down isn't building you. So I forgive you. Start writing down that you forgive yourself. See how that feels. Because again, when you can forgive yourself, you can forgive others. And the moment I said, I forgive myself, I forgive you, Hope. I let that go. No one else might have saw it, but you saw it and you know it. Thank you, Amal. Yeah, it's my same color. Oh, I think I did refresh my color. I did. And then I just blew it out and, I go through phases. But I like really big hair. So you'll be seeing like big barrel curls. I love that. I don't want to do nothing sleek. I want big, oversized, like Whitney Houston, like Dolly Parton barrel curls. I want obnoxious, full curls that bounce and sway and that are like 5 inches off my head. Love it. So with that forgiving, exactly, that's kind of what I was going for, like an 80s glam. But I take it. Thank you for seeing it. And also, that's a part of it. That reinvention of yourself sometimes means to change what you look like. If that's a new lipstick, thank you, Yassine. And I do, honey. Listen, I do. I be drinking my water. I stretch. I meditate. I pray. I cry. I show up for myself, and it shows. But to forgive yourself, start that. Say that today. You know what? I forgive me. I let it go. I was doing the best I could, or I was striving to attain love for someone, or I was striving to attain attention from this person, or I was striving to attain an accomplishment to prove others that I was good enough. I let it go and I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I allow myself to be a human. Maybe that takes some tears. Maybe that takes realizing, oh, I was in a space where this was going on within me, but I forgive me so I can allow myself to grow. And once I started journaling that, because I journal in the morning and when I go to sleep, I write a lot of things out. I just began forgiving people in my life. Like, I forgive them. Am I holding animosity? I forgive them. I love them. Not only do I wish them well, I wish them love. There's a way that I can change my perspective on this. This is a learning lesson. This isn't for me to say, I wish they haven't done that. I hope all bad comes. Nah, man, no. Because whatever I wish on someone else is really within myself. I'm not walking through life like that for me. Maybe it's helpful for someone else, not for me. With pleasure, I'm all. We're all critical, but why? Sometimes we're critical because we had guardians or parents or loved ones that were critical of us. Guess what? You are the dictator of your reality. Let it go. If that voice is saying you ain't good enough, what voice is that? Is it your mama's voice? Is it your auntie's voice? Is it a teacher's voice? Replace it with your voice. And that's all okay. When I say it's all a lesson, it means how can I grow from this? How can I allow this to inspire the next version of me? Yeah, and that's okay. That's a part of it. Even identifying that voice, give yourself a pat on the back for saying, oh, okay, this is where this came from. And because of this, now that I know this, I can let this go. This has been on a rewind in my brain for X amount of years, and it's not immediate. It won't stop immediately, but now you're aware. And you can continuously say, that no longer serves me. At one time, it did. At one time, it protected me. At one time, it helped me grow. At one time, it added to me. But from this moment, I don't allow things that don't empower me, love me, uplift me, and reinforce the goodness that I am to add to me. So, unless that voice is doing that, it's done. And I release it with love, and I forgive myself for holding myself accountable for something that has I've outgrown. And I forgive my mom, or I forgive my dad, or I forgive whoever it was. Just say it out loud, write it down, say it in the mirror. But ultimately, start with forgiving yourself. Start with forgiving you. Sometimes you just didn't know. Most of the time, you just didn't know. And until you know, how are you supposed to be better? How are you supposed to learn the lesson? You really can't. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And that's it. And all of these are places of power. This is all a place of power because you know how powerful it is for you to say, that actually was never my voice. No, it's not that you're going to work on it. You already are kinder to yourself. Here's the other thing. Speak about it in present tense. When you say something like I'm going to work on that, whenever someone, and I'm not doing this to pick you apart at all, Amal. I'm actually going to speak for myself. Whenever I sense that I am saying I'm going to, I erase going because that means it's a part. It's far from me. It's future tense. No, I am now. I am kinder to myself. And not even this year. I'm kinder to myself in this moment. If I'm speaking about the year, I need to speak about this moment. All too often, the thought is this year. What about now? What about this millisecond? What about the exact time, if it's 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., wherever you are? In this moment, I'm kind to myself. In this moment, the future, and here's the other thing, look up the definition of future. The definition of future is the exact moment a word is spoken or written down. That means now. It doesn't mean this 20 years from now. It means right now. So I speak as of now. If you're thinking of money terms, I have that amount of money now. I feel so good that I achieved this goal now. I'm not thinking in the sense of at the end of the year. No, I'm doing it now. I'm kind to myself now. I forgive myself now. I allow myself to grow now. I choose to be great now. And in that, You are it. It is not waiting on you. It is not um, away from you. You have it now. Be it now. That's why you often see me with these different looks, because I'm like, yeah, this is what I am now. And maybe it's a part of artistic development, but I do like to say, okay, this is a part of my evolution. I'm showing up as this now. And there was a big shift energy wise after those planets aligned on the 25th and 26th. I don't know if anyone else, I feel all of this, uh, but speak it into existence now. If you are trying to release weight, and I didn't say lose weight, because whatever you lose, you find. You're trying to find it. Yeah, it was a major shift. I was feeling it and like in every sort of way. Speak of it now, not when I lose 20 pounds. Now that I have released that, I feel so good. The moment you embody it, it just begins to be a part of your reality now. And I speak about this as me being a speaker. The moment that I left the airline, I just started introducing myself as a speaker. I hadn't done one engagement, I hadn't spoken anywhere. I am a speaker. I don't care if you've never heard me speak or ever saw me speak, I'm a speaker now. And some people would say, well, why? Thank you. Well, you can. You can go to Hope is Speaking, my YouTube page, and listen. And thank you, Melody. I'll tell them. And I love to do this. I love to inspire. And let me go back to the young ladies I was speaking to at the fundraiser event that I was at this weekend. Speaking to them reminded me that I am on my path, because they were looking at me as who I have became. I'm already it to them, how they were looking at me. And this is why I share. As soon as you start out on that goal, it's already done. I don't doubt myself. Sometimes I'll look back and say, or I don't even look back. I'll say, oh, this timeline, it's not moving fast enough. It's moving the way it's supposed to move. Exactly, T. And here's the other realizations, because it was for a museum and it was like a fundraiser for the African American Museum. And I saw some of these people from my local hometown. And I gotta say, I've always seen myself on the world stage. I've also seen the world. I haven't just glanced, I've seen the world. When I speak about my career as a flight attendant, and I was reminded of this as I spoke to a friend of mine from high school who remembered me and said, you haven't changed a bit. And she is head of strategic planning and tourism for the Historical Society. And she was saying, well, our hometown is nice. You can always leave, but it's a great place. And, you know, there's places in the world, but there's no place like home. Yeah, that's easy to say if you haven't seen the world. And I say that in a very brash way, but at the same time, unless you know that I've been to like 70 countries, you don't understand my viewpoint. And I only say this because we never know someone else's vantage point. So for me to immediately think, well, why would she say that? Has she ever seen Japan during the Cherry Blossom Festival? I don't know, but that's not the point. The point is to meet people where they are currently and not say, well, they should know. They don't, they know what they know. People know what they know, but you don't know what people know. And I share that in a space of compassion to understand we all have different viewpoints, vantage points, and have seen different things in life. The beauty is to get on one accord and say, I understand. Not, well, you need to go and see the world. There was a time in life where I thought that. It's just not kind or compassionate. Most of the world will never see what I've seen. It doesn't matter. And I always say that because maybe it's for me just to share that viewpoint. Maybe it's for me to share what I've seen. Maybe it's for me just to understand that I've had that privilege and that's it. Not to tell someone, go and see the world. They'll do what they want. Maybe they don't want to see the world. And I often say this because the belief is you need to do this. You need to do what's best for you. And what's best for you is perfect. If you don't want to fight for freedom for people, okay, not everyone needs to do that. What is for you, but to know what's for you is helpful. And I found that out as I spoke to those young women and as I was at this gala and I said, this is great. And I'm okay with saying I like big stages. This ain't big enough. And I share that because sometimes on this road, maybe it's entrepreneurism, maybe it's just a goal that you want. You may try to dim yourself and say, this is good enough, or my hometown is good enough, or my church stage is good enough, or this local commerce. No, world stage. World stage. That's me. That is me. This is okay, but no, this ain't, I'm bigger than this. That's okay. That's okay. Of course, T. If it's calling for you, if it's calling to you, it means you have all of the hardware to make it happen, to bring that program out. Exactly. You see it, you know it, you feel it. Meet people where they are, meaning the lesson for me in meeting people where they are is I have seen the world and I've lived a bunch of places and I've done a lot of what maybe individuals would think is like a big deal. Whether it's, and me and T were speaking about this, being around notable people or someone that you recognize or you love their music or see them in film or what have you. That is just a person. So I see no difference between me and your biggest superstar because the only difference is you know their work, but they're still a human being. So when I'm speaking about meeting people from where they are means that I cannot well even that I take sometimes it's literal. It's not about everyone because if I'm speaking about everyone, I don't know everyone. There's 3 billion people in the world. Most of the time, when individuals, thank you, speak of everyone, they're speaking of the people in their immediate circle or who they come across. There's people who always have the luxury of travel, always at any time. At any time. So I'm just sharing that to understand that there's so many facets to this. To meet people where they are is just to listen to what they're saying at that time and not saying, well, in regard to this person who works for the historical society, for me to say, well, maybe that's not true because you haven't traveled. No, I'm hearing what the person is saying, and that's it. I'm not digging to see where they've been or their knowledge or any. I hear what you're saying and I accept it. I don't need to compare it to what I've done in life. I don't need to dig and see where have you been in life or where you acquired that information. The point is the conversation at that time was two people connecting. That's it. I don't need to share or make myself bigger because of the places that I've been. I allow myself as a human being to allow another human being to share their experience without comparing, without judging, and without almost challenging. I just allow them to exist. That's what that means. Does that make sense, Amal? So yes, me learning that to be aspirational, to have big aspirations, that's okay. That's okay. You do not need to dim your light or turn it down or even think, maybe that's not good to dream so big. Of course it is. The point of dreaming big is to bring that dream into fruition. That goal, that achievement. Because for you to do that means that someone else has seen you do it. Someone else is inspired. Someone else can challenge themselves and say, oh, let me do more with what I have. And that is okay. And I'm speaking of this because there were times where I dimmed myself. I've always wanted to inspire people around the world. But to say that and to maybe have someone else's discomfort reply with, well, why can't you do it here? I'll do it everywhere. But when I say around the world, that just means affect change throughout the globe. When I say a world stage, that also comes from the fact that I've always been on a world stage, being on a plane 3 times a week for almost 20 years of my life, for really the adult part of my life. Whatever you want to do, expand your vision. Expand your vision. Have your vision be even bigger than what you can conceptualize. And that is okay. The point is to allow your vision to grow, because as you continue, your vision will shift, it will change, and others will come and assist. But the point is, the vision is always being acted out as soon as you continuously show up, which is what I've stated, and making that decision to do it. I didn't make the decision to speak and hope that it works, or maybe it will work, or if it doesn't, I'll go back. No, no, no. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this challenge. This is why I stepped away completely from being a flight attendant. I had to challenge myself. Because the other thought is, well, I can do both. I could, but I'm choosing to close that chapter to build another one. That shows how courageous individuals are. Do you know how courageous it is to step away from a career to say, I'm going to do this thing that I haven't seen anyone else do, and I will do it? Yeah, why not? You see, I actually really live like it will end. I really live life like it will end. If I don't feel that something is 100% yes, it's a no. I got to the point in my flying career where it wasn't inspiring. It just wasn't challenging. I didn't want to do it. I dreaded going. I tried to change it up as much as I can. It's time to go. I had told my family, get your flights in because my days are numbered. I know it. I don't stick around in spaces where I'm not wanted. And sometimes I'm not wanted because I know I've outgrown it. And that's important because a lot of you mofos stay in places that you've outgrown because you're too afraid to go into spaces that are for you to grow into. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are afraid to leave the places you've outgrown because you haven't stepped into the courage to go into the places that you will grow into. There is a difference. I can't be around a lot of people because a lot of people do not want a lot out of life. In fact, they don't want much. They want to go to work, make some money, to live where they don't want to live, to buy some clothes, to go to the bar, to maybe, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I'm living a big life and I know how difficult it is. And it's only difficult because I'm going to do what I want. I'm not going to do what is given to me. That's really difficult. If you have a big calling on your life, let me tell you, it's not supposed to be what you think is easy. And maybe God put that on your heart. Maybe whatever you feel is your guiding light or your higher power, put that on your heart for you to challenge yourself. Until you take that challenge, just know that you will never feel satisfied. You'll never feel satisfied because it's not for you. That's especially with relationships. That's especially with your voice. Sometimes you've outgrown that small voice and you need to stand up for yourself. You need to speak up for yourself. Yeah, if it's not 100% yes, then it's a no. And sometimes that was the space where I had to grow into. Maybe I was just not at a level of maturity, or maybe my self doubt made it a no, but later in life it would have been a yes. All I know is this: I trust myself. If it's not at a 100% yes, it's a no. Why would I ever, just a minute, guys. Why would you ever continuously say yes to what you want to say no to? If you're doing that, you're betraying yourself. You're betraying yourself. I will say that again. Anytime you say yes to the things that you want to say no to, you are betraying yourself. And you're probably still saying yes because you don't believe that you can actually say no. And until you say no, you won't know. Until you say no, you won't be able to grow into your powerful voice to say, nah, I'm not doing that. No, I don't want to go out with you. No, I'm no longer involved in this shenanigans. Nah, I don't want to be in this relationship. No, I'm not going to allow you to use me in that way. No, I don't want to do this anymore. It becomes easier the more that you do it. But if you don't do it because, well, they'll ask me why. Well, if I tell them no, I don't want to come out tonight, they're going to call me. I remember someone saying, I'm just going to go because if I tell them no, then they'll ask me, why don't you want to go? And then they'll ask me, oh, you should go. I don't care. Listen, the no is it. But I've also become so accustomed with trusting myself that I don't care what you say after I say no. After I say no, I'm probably walking away, so you don't even have time to say anything else. But it will come with you saying no. It will come with you saying no to that job. I'm bigger than this. Maybe there's a better position. Maybe there's more training for something else I want to do, or maybe I want to try this. Say no, walk away. But most of you won't. You're too afraid. What else will I do? You'll figure it out. I had to figure it out. Figure it out. Challenge yourself to figure it the F out. No is a complete sentence. You are right, T. I ain't doing that no more. I ain't doing that with y'all. If I'm not doing that with family members, I'm definitely not going to let the world or someone that I don't even allow in the inner realms of my life to challenge me with my no. F that. No way. I am extremely powerful and I'm sharing this so maybe you can learn your power. A no is a no. Let me tell you this: as soon as I see something that no longer aligns with my power, with my vision, with myself as an individual, it's easy for me to say no. Easy. But you don't believe that your no is worthy of a no. No, no, I say no to this. I say no to this. This no longer gives me what I need, and that's okay. But it will take that. And I understand what I'm saying is incomprehensible to most, because just saying no to a job is not, to some, realistic. If I can say no to a dream career, I do not think twice about saying no to anything else in life. I will live the life that I am destined to live because I create it. And I learned that. I always thought I operated with that. But it wasn't until my emergency landing where I was like, this is how this ends. This life is ending. Yeah, sure, but it also comes from programming and fear. Yes, but it comes down to you making the decision. You can be programmed to eat hamburgers every day, but if you get tired of it, you'll say, "Nah, I'm done with this. I want some spinach or something else." It comes down to you having the courage and the determination to want something else. That's with everything in life. If a relationship no longer serves me, and I know it, and we all have intuition, men and women, I'm out. I am out. And sometimes all it takes is, ooh, I got to trust myself. Now I got to walk away. Oh, geez. But I would always ask myself, especially in a relationship, if it stayed like this, where we are currently, for the next 20 years, am I satisfied with that? Because more than likely, it won't get better. I mean, we may be able to work something out. But if it stays this way, am I going to resent myself? Am I, is this a symbiotic relationship? Am I getting what I need? If it's no, no, and no, why the heck are you there? And the easiest thing is to say, okay, no, tell the other person and leave. But let's exchange that with your current lifestyle or your current health status or your current job or your current friend group. You can replace it with any of those. It's all the same. You have to ask yourself, if things stay the same, am I going to feel like I have wasted my time? Am I going to resent myself because I was so afraid to leave that job, that person, that place, that way of treating my body? No, you have everything it takes to make the change. You just have to change it. Exactly, and that's okay too. I completely resonate with that, T. Sometimes we just shift into a different space and we no longer align with the person that we were with. It is okay. Is it hurtful? Sure. Do we have to adjust? Sure. Is there a mourning period? Of course. But all of that will strengthen you. All of that leads you to your power. All of that is a part of your life story. So why put off your next chapter with filler pages? Nah, this chapter is done, and I'm okay with that. I'm also a G. Like I think people, I think at times my appearance and the manner of how I carry myself um prevents people from seeing that I live by a code. I have a father that lived by a code, an old school daddy from LA who was born in 1947, who was in the military, who was alpha, but he was an old school daddy. I have an old school mama who was born in 1950. Her mom was from Oklahoma, and then they came to the big state of California. I have old school parents, but I just abide by a code. You got to abide by a code. And I just found this out. Uh, Most people don't abide by a code. And the code is internal. This isn't written down. This is an internal code. And it's not about you betrayed me. No, 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 no. I actually abide by like a code. Maybe it's a street code, but there's a code. Like I'm not chasing after some, first of all, I'm not chasing ever. Um, the code is if someone is in a relationship, that's not the person because they're in a relationship. You can't change a person's mind. That's a code. As soon as someone would say, "Oh yeah, I'm in a relationship," it's like they're invisible. It's a code. If a wallet is on the ground with their driver's license and a bunch of cash, I'll find them and give it to them without stealing their money. There's a code. There's just a code. When I'm speaking inspiration into young men or women, it's because the same was done to me. It's a code. And especially, I've said this with our young people, a lot of us aren't abiding by a code, and we are not letting them learn from the lessons we've learned. Note, I didn't say mistakes. It's a lesson. I love integrity. Yeah, but a lot of mofos don't have it. They don't even know what integrity is. They can't even define it. And I was writing the key elements of my partner, and integrity is at the top. My father was full of integrity. I strive for that. They don't even know what integrity is or a code. Now it is time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Now you can learn it, but it means that you're doing things when people aren't looking. If you're only doing things when people are looking, you're not abiding by code. You just want people to recognize who you are. No, no, no. This is when people aren't looking. What are you doing when no one knows? That's what I mean. When no one is watching. The thing is, you're always watching. You always see yourself. You always know what the heck you're doing. Integrity is the sexiest thing. Keeping your word. Almost being that role model. Now I understand life is life and lessons will be learned. But I don't really I see it because I'm it and I'm still growing into it. But to know that integrity actually comes from like life lessons. Sometimes integrity is grown from not being in a space of integrity. It's that too. So when earlier in this live, when I was talking about forgiving yourself, that's where it comes from. Sometimes you might not have been in that space of integrity, and that's how you learn to be in it. It's all of that. Not saying I've been like this all my life. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But if you haven't, even speaking about that lesson to say that's how I got to this space, that's wisdom. That's wisdom. That's how individuals learn from you, especially young people. And I love speaking to young people because I say, oh, I got some lessons, okay? I got some lessons. I've done it all. And I would tell my nieces and nephews, ask me because I've done it. And I'll tell you, I've done a lot. I've done a lot. And if I haven't done it, I probably know somebody who has. But I've done a lot. um, so I also was teasing my mom because I was walking. You know, I love my morning walks or rollerblades, but I've been like on a walking thing. And I saw something on the sidewalk. Now, I'm actively always looking at what's in front of me when I'm walking because I will find things. I found pages torn out of a book of like wisdom from Proverbs, and I picked it up. I'll bring it in my live for tomorrow. I've found playing cards and I'll go and see what that means. And the other day I was walking and I saw this figurine in front of me on the sidewalk and I said, well, what is this? Oh. Look at this. I was like, it's Jesus. He's always there. He's in front of me. He's on my path. And whether or not you believe in the Christian faith, because as I said, I'm an observer of all religions. I do not claim being a Christian at all. Although I do, uh, I believe if you have been raised in Christianity, you are culturally Christian. I was pastor's kid. I know all about this, and there's Christian ideals. However, through my travels and just life, I'm an observer of all faiths. And I picked it up because it was so cute, but at the same time, it was almost um, that wisdom of you're on the right path, and there's always something leading you on your path. And so I picked it up and said, like, I'm going to put this in my pocket. I have this, like, and it's so cute too. I don't know what, like, um, and I'm inspired by this because I love this J record. Say hello from the American Gangster. He says, I ain't no ordinary person. I am not. And I will always say I'm extraordinary. I don't want ordinary anything. I know the home, the place I want to live. Like, I don't just want, okay, this is good enough. No, ordinary, not for me. But to be extraordinary and to claim that means the road is the road that's been put in front of you. But you have what it takes, and you always have. And because you always have what it takes, means to just keep showing up. Yes, paper chaser, just keep showing up. Keep showing up, keep believing, and allow your lessons to shape you. Allow your lessons to give the lessons that you can help others with. And trust the path. I had shared this with the girls at the gala that trusting your path can be the most difficult part. Trusting means I'm just showing up, not even I'm showing up and it's working. I'm showing up doing what I'm supposed to do and it's coming together. I'm showing up and everything has already fallen into place. Not it is falling into place, it already has. And that's the part of trust that I think at times we may have a difficult space of falling into. Like you can say you trust, but do you really? I trust my pet. Do you really? Do you really? Because if you're trusting, you're not saying, when is it happening? When is the money coming? When is the breakthrough? When am I going to get recognized? No, trusting the path means I trust it. I'm here and it's working, and I'll just keep showing up, and I will allow everything to fall into place. Again, it is very easy to say I trust until you are on that spiritual path or walking this path, and your belief is it's not, it's taking too long, or the financial reward isn't there, or other people are getting their successes and you haven't. Whatever it is, you're already comparing. You're already outside of where you need to be, if that's the case. You have to trust so much, and I'm saying this from experience. You have to trust so much that in your mind it has happened and reality is catching up. Because things happen overnight, they happen in a second, they happen suddenly. And I often say things do happen overnight. You just don't know what night. Could be the fifth night, it could be the 5,000th night. It does happen overnight. You just don't know what night. And that's where faith comes in and trust, which is difficult. That's a part of the lesson. The lesson of trusting and having faith is to understand you won't understand how it comes in, but that's why you just keep showing up. Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, Yessine. You won't know, but it will. It already has. When I speak in present tense, it already has happened. The abundance is already here. The applause is already here. The recognition is already here. The financial abundance, that whatever you want to do, you have to claim it now. Not when I have it. No, I have it now. I have it now. That's also why when I show up on camera, I show up like this. There's times where I show up wearing nothing, but in my mind, I'm already speaking to an audience of thousands of people. There is no difference. The only difference is the time catching up. I am already the speaker in my head that I've always wanted to be. Start presenting yourself as it. Start showing up as it. Start walking as it. Yeah. And senior year, whew. Well, all of high school was really fun for me. Life has always been fun. There's never a part where I say, this isn't fun. It's always fun. I am it now. I am amazing now. I am healthy now. I'm surrounded by loving friends that I can trust, and they uplift me now. Now, this is even when you don't physically see it. That belief now. Why not? Why do I have to be detached from it? I'm it now. I'm it now. Be it now. Feel it now. Show up as it now. Change your appearance now. Dress differently now. Just the now is the best part. It's now. I'm not detached from it. And see how that shows up in everything you do. So I will continue to be the best now. And I already know you are the best now. So be the best now. It's that easy. That's it. I always like to uplift any of the hopefuls. Lady T, who comes in, who's another content creator. She makes digital products. She was in the space of, well, would I say stylist or cosmetology? Um, and then transferred her skills into a whole new level of where she is now. And I recognize her because every time I come on, I see her on. She's on live, she's creating content. She's already it now. What I'm speaking of is that's the difference. There's so many people that say that's embarrassing. I would never do that. Well, that's why you aren't there. Well, then add Lady T. That's exactly up your lane, Yassine. The difference is once you do it, you understand, oh, I just got to keep showing up. As soon as I don't give up, it's happened. But if you're in the space of that's embarrassing, I don't want to, I'm not ready, I don't have enough information, you've lost. You've lost. It you become it before it becomes you. That's what I always say. You become it before it becomes you. I am the same speaker now than when I did my TED Talk. But it wasn't even now people are like, "Oh wow, a TED Talk." Yeah, I mean it is a stamp. I'm not going to downplay that. But I am that now and I was that before. See yourself as it now. Just start being uncomfortable. If you want to do content or whatever you want, start now. Start with the discomfort. If it's within interpersonal relationships, say no. Do that uncomfortable thing. If you have to walk away from someone, walk. Heal. Is it difficult? Sure. But if the other option is betraying yourself and staying in a space that you don't even want to be and that you've outgrown, why would you choose that option? There's that too. I would often say, well, what's the other option? That's right, Charles. I need to leave this person, but I don't want to. Okay, well, what is the other option? Staying and being unhappy? If that is your only option, then do what's best for you. But if the lesson is to do what's best and grow, then do that. Because the biggest lessons come with the most discomfort. I remember someone told me growth is often uncomfortable. And it is. It is. I it's not. The growth from separating from relationships or my father passing and growing in that grief and healing and allowing myself. Like I shared, this gentleman approached me and he was in awe, which I understand. And I just was honest, like, dude, my father just passed away like weeks ago. I am emotionally unavailable. Like you are great, but I'm not there. And for me to be honest with you is to be honest with myself. Yeah, staying in places that you've outgrown. Sometimes speaking up and saying, I love you, but I love me more. And for me to love me means I choose me. I'm going to choose me in every section in life. I'm always choosing me, as you should. Everyone should always choose themselves, right? Because why would you choose anything outside of yourself? You are worth it to choose yourself. There's a lesson in it. You will heal, you will grow. Yes, advocate for your inner child. Yeah. Advocate for your inner teenager. Advocate for you in every aspect. Is there discomfort? Yeah, but so what? Fearing the discomfort of growth is only prolonging your lack of success. Remember that. Whew. That is a word because I also said there's 3 other things I will complete, and it's yeah, for every stage in your life. Advocate for you. You're worth it. But let me tell you this, as soon as I see clownery, oh, clownery just in life in general, I'm out. I'm not speaking about within relationships. Let me just say within life. As soon as I see clownery, nah, I'm out with it with ease. With ease. Is that from the Dewey Decimal System? Clownery in life leads me to choose me. Clownery in life can be at your occupation, it could be anything. But when life presents you with clownery, choose you. Choose a different path. Experience that discomfort, because I will share with you anytime that you disconnect from something that you've once loved, whether that's a person, a relationship, a plan in life, an occupation, there will be a space of heartbreak and discomfort. It's real. But the best part is when you can endure that and grow. And it's not even endure, it's sitting with that. And I've shared, like, I saw a piece of content and it was referring to relationships, and it shared at times you will see two people separate, and one person may automatically have someone else, and another person may not for quite a while. And that may say something about each individual. Because when I tell you that separation or that hurt or that pain from the loss of a relationship, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a dream, a loss of an occupation, the grief of changing homes, it's real. But the growth comes from sitting with it and growing from it. Sometimes through that tears, sometimes through that sadness. But in that, you're healing and you're growing into the strength that was calling you. Do you see? The best person you can be will be on the other side of that discomfort, hurt, and pain. And it's a part of it. Take your time, use your time, and grow into that new version of yourself. Thank you, T. That is my word for today. I am Hope. If you have not, thank you for getting this live up to 10,000 followers. Thank you, T. I will come on daily this week. I have been traveling and busy with projects and busy focusing on me, which is beautiful. So there wasn't always that space, but the space is now. So if you have not followed me, follow me here on TikTok. I also have my YouTube channel, Hope is Speaking YouTube. Subscribe to the Hope is Speaking YouTube channel. Like, share, follow content, and I come and I inspire. I'm a storyteller, I'm a speaker, I'm amazing, as are you, because you are here watching me, and that's what we do. And thank you, Lady T, for pulling up, for Paper Chaser for pulling up, Yassine, some of the hopefuls. If you want to contact me, my email and all my contact is in my link in bio, as well as my TED Talk. Thank you, Mama Peg. I am amazing. Thank you. I just followed you back. Oh, were you born in 84? I saw that. I was born in 83. So we're like similar. And that is my goal. That's my passion. This is a calling, and I'm walking forward in my calling and experiencing life. Okay, all right. And with every step, I grow. With every step, you are growing, and you're okay. You're okay, really. If you haven't heard it today, I'm telling you, you're okay. And if you need to be okay, just like change your hair. I have a claw clip. It's a very like retro style, but change it up. Sometimes you just got to shift up the look, shift up the makeup. I shared with you how I was a makeup artist, so I've gotten back into my makeup artistry and do that. And I'm speaking to the ladies. Our beauty is here for a reason. We're here to beautify this earth. So let your beauty shine. And I close my lives with these. Oh, okay. Oh, I was looking for this red Pat McGrath lipstick. Last time they had it at the TJ Maxx I went to, but it wasn't there. But I'm a lover of red nails and red lipstick. It is my power color. So put on your armor, which is your power. I close my lives with these three things. First, be the reflection of love because we all come from an infinite source of love. Secondly, show up. I showed up today. Show up. Thank you, Paper Chaser, for the gifts. Show up for your workout. Show up for your dreams. Show up for you. Even if you're showing up crying, the fact is when you cry, it sends a signal to your parasympathetic nerve system, so you're healing, and it's okay. Just show up. And finally, trusting the process just means believe that it will work out. And that's even for me too. Just believe that it's working. Because what's the opposite? Believing it's not working? Believing that all of this is going to crumble and everything you've done isn't good enough? Nah, that's whack. We're in the space of believing and uplifting ourselves. So believe. And I'll see you on the other side because we winners, baby. We are winners. So we'll see the look that I'll do tomorrow. But big hair. Okay? I love you all. Have an exceptional evening. And feel good. And drink water. Maybe she can't find a person that fit her skills to be like hear the old saying I don't even know what that means, Charles Hicks. Maybe she can't find a person that fit her skills to be like, maybe that means her, the old saying I've. Okay. Whatever that means. Goodbye.